Okay, question number 16. What are the 8 planets that make up the solar system? Which are the inner planets and the outer planets? Okay, so we'll start off with the inner planets. So closest to the sun, we have Mercury, then Venus, then Earth, then Mars. Then we have the asteroid belt, and that kind of is the border in between our rocky planets and our gas giant planets. So after the asteroid belt, included in the outer planets, we first have Jupiter, Saturn, then Uranus, and Neptune. But when you guys are taking a look at a lot of the different books, it's going to quite often have a ninth planet. So Pluto was once categorized as a planet, but it has been uh, stripped of the title of planet. But there's still quite a bit of debate in the astronomical world about that right now. Okay, question 17. Explain how the atmosphere of each of the inner planets creates some of each of the planet's characteristics. Okay, so Mercury has a very thin atmosphere that can't slow down meteors, so its iron and rock surface is pockmarked with craters. Venus's atmosphere is much like a thick cloud. The brightness of Venus, which is often mistaken for a star, you guys have probably heard people call it the evening star. It's caused by the reflection of sunlight from this thick cloud. Not only does the cloud reflect light, it also traps heat on the planet just like a greenhouse. The planet's temperature can reach 484 degrees Celsius. Remember, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. But at 484 degrees Celsius, that's hot enough to melt lead. The greenhouse effect on the planet also affects the weather on the planet. Winds on Venus have been estimated to be about 380 kilometers an hour. That's faster than most tornadoes. A hurricane, a storm is categorized as a hurricane, I think, when it hits 110 kilometers an hour. So this is extremely intense winds on the planet. Earth's gases in its atmosphere are important. They help to absorb some of the sun's harmful radiation before it reaches the surface of the Earth. The atmosphere also protects us from meteoroids. Our atmosphere also regulates heat and water circulation to support life. Mars' atmosphere is thinner than that of Earth and gives less protection. The surface of Mars has been affected by the impact of meteorites, creating many craters. 18. Why are the outer planets also called gas giants? The outer planets are called gas giants because they are the largest planets in our solar system and are made up of mostly gases that surround a core of rock and metal in layers, just like it's almost like the layers of an onion. Okay, question 19. If you take a look at your diagram on there, A would be the penumbra and the B would be the umbra. 20. List the differences between meteors, asteroids, and comets. Meteors are fragments of rock and dust. They're visible only if they enter our atmosphere and begin to burn up. Asteroids usually have an elliptical, or it's kind of like a squish circle orbit around the sun. So instead of being like round like typical planets, it's kind of stretched out. Most of them are found between Mars and Jupiter in the asteroid belt. They are made up of the same material as the inner planets. Some astronomers believe that they are the leftovers from when planets were formed. Comets are a mixture of frozen water, frozen gases, and dust that didn't get incorporated when the solar system was formed. Comets orbit the sun in unusual orbits, but until they get near the sun, comets are virtually invisible. Once they get close to the sun and they get heated up, we'll quite often see a tail on the comet. Back in the 1990s, it was really neat. We had a new comic come in that we hadn't observed before called Hail Bob, and HALEBOBB, I think it was. And it was amazing. Every night when I was out checking cows, you would see it. It was really neat. In your lifetime, you guys will have an opportunity to see Halley's Comet. It should be back around in, I think, about 45 years. When it's around, make sure you see it. 21. Explain how the size and speed of an object relate to the size of the crater it may create. Okay, so with the size of a meteor, the larger it is, the larger crater it will make, and also the faster it's moving, the faster the faster it's moving, the larger the crater it will make. So I hope you guys did that experiment a couple of lessons ago, where you took the rock and actually went and threw it outside to make those observations on your own. Okay, 22. Using the diagram below, give the scientific name of the labeled parts of the crater. Okay, so if you take a look at A, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see a little bit of the streaks, but that would be the ray. B is obviously the rim of the crater, and C would be the basin of it. Okay, 23. Explain briefly how humans have improved tools and technology used in space exploration. Choose one tool, technology, or strategy to describe in fuller detail. So there's lots of great examples that you guys could have. Things we've talked about like RadarSat, Canadarm, excuse me, Hubble Space Telescope, the James Webb Telescope, or simple things like Velcro or freeze-dried food. Are great examples, or microchips, satellites. There's so many different things we could use for that.